The number of good things that happened this year is vastly outweighed by the big dumb things. But that's why we need to take a step back and share the couple good things that happened this year. I got into playing some online games like Paladins this year. I genuinely had a really good time playing it with a couple of friends. And it is also free. Sea of Thieves was in the rotation there for a little bit, and no other pirate game really compares. The graphics are truly unparalleled. I was also like this close to including Chat Ventures on the actual top whatever list, but it's really dead right now. It honestly really makes me sad because it's a special game that I think more people should experience. If you could convince a friend or two to go through the game with you, there is a party system that splits experience between you and your friends. You got a lackluster single player, but amazing multiplayer Smash, right? But what if I told you that Realms of Aether had amazing multiplayer, but also had a really solid single player experience? After completing a pretty standard campaign, you unlock Abyss Mode, which has you collecting experience from waves of enemies and upgrading various aspects of your character until stuff like this is possible. Many huge fans of Smash tend to forget that games other than Smash exist. Rivals is polished with everything that makes a platform fighter enjoyable and more. Fall Guys was a fun thing. Hey, I can't lie, I like what they did with the falling feature of the game. Genshin Impact, I actually played this on PC. It had a lot of substance in terms of combat in a huge open world, but wasn't charming. The menus made me want to do a flip into a kiddie pool. So I ended up rather doing an elegant gainer back into the world of Breath of the Wild because it really is what Genshin Impact failed to duplicate in my Breath of the Wild tainted eyes. Genshin Impact is a free game though, so I would say give it a shot. Akane is a roguelike by the same people that make Pirate Game. Try to be cool to a point of fault. Watch this sick move. Bait, gun, attack. Watch this. Don't watch that. I also started doing this weird thing where I do push-ups on stream. Played a lot of Dead Cells, but couldn't bring myself to play Dark Souls. I played Nepotism the game, also known as Good Job. Valley is also a really cool game. You kind of are this weird guy who does these things where it's like, blah, and you go, whoop-a-ja, and it's kind of open world, but not really. It's honestly really cool, even though it's really old. There's this game called Monster Sanctuary, and I really freaking like it, but have not put in enough time to really give it a fair shot. I honestly was thinking that this would be on like my actual list because it's like monster taming and side-scroller goodness, and like its battle system is unique from the Pokemon games, and like I think it can stand on its own feet, and it has a lot of gameplay. I haven't played enough to really say that, so you know, maybe I'll talk about it later. I also started tapping into what I like to call the beautiful tedium of video games. Endless Sky and Death Stranding. These sorts of games aren't very demanding, but I personally find their gradual progression satisfying. Death Stranding is a really good walking game where you're bad at walking. Its music and atmosphere make it the best walking game to date. There's also an entire story that's interwoven with its world building to make it interconnected and honestly relevant and cool. It gets a lot of flack, but I think it's fine. Now this brings us to the list of games I really wish I have played this year but didn't buy them. There's a Scary Squiggly Game, Secret of Mana Long Lost Sequel, One Strike HD, Jacked Pumpkin, game that's easily confused with Outer Worlds, Doomy Boy.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, just didn't sleep good last night.
I don't know if you've seen these animations before. They're by this dude, Joel Haver. I'd highly recommend you check them out if you haven't before, but I think I have found a sort of video game equivalent of this. Slasher's Keep. Not exactly on par with that specific style, though looks very fun and a cool first-person roguelike game. I want to check it out as soon as I finish all the other million roguelikes in the backlog. And the game I am most sad about missing is Hades. I've been a fan of Supergiant's games since Bastion, and it's been amazing to see them grow through the years, but I really want to play Transistor and Pyre before I get to Hades. I don't know, maybe I'll make a video about like my whole experience going through the Supergiant collection, but I'll get to Hades eventually. Welcome to Post Void, where everything looks like it's gonna kill you in spectacularly bright flashing colors. You may look at this game and be like, no, And you'd be right. With the most flamboyant, in-your-faceness and unapologetic raging headache you'll always have while playing this game, I can recommend it to the people who are crazy enough to give it a shot. It's the funnest FPS game I've played since Doom 2016. In the local town, you have various different roles, like the calligrapher, the tailor, the cobbler, the baker, the butcher, the seamstress, and the jeweler. In Moonlighter, you fit your town role as a merchant, but not in the traditional sense. You delve into nearby dungeons and collect monster drops, just like any adventurer, but the twist is that you run a shop. It's a balancing act that's extremely rewarding and very well done by the developers. You sell the creepy crawly pieces during your 9 to 5 to make a little extra cash to upgrade your shop, or take those resources and upgrade your equipment. Doing all this other stuff, you're managing all these resources in your satchel, and it's a great game. It's one of the best games I've played in 2020, and its DLC came out this year, so please give it a look. It's a special one. Okay, I like me some rhythm games. I've played the Rock Bands, and the Beat Sabers, and the Vib Ribbons, and the Taiko no Tatsujins, but Lo-Fi Ping Pong is different. Rhythm games usually try to implement songs with varying complex beats or notes to keep you on your toes, but this game is about keeping a consistent metronome. The crux of this game is where you hit that consistent beat, either up, left, or right on your arrow keys in response to where your ping pong partner passes. It's a simple concept, but there's multiple modes, like a single ball that has you hitting every offbeat, or double ball where you hit every beat, or wind where the ball changes direction mid-strike. The story is nothing you haven't seen before, but its presentation is very well done. There's also this entire feature programmed in where you can import music files and play this game to any song you want. The interface is initially a little scary, but it actually works very, very well. I was able to get Pocket by Louis Zong imported, and it worked really, really well. For only $5 and a game that does go on sale often, it's a huge value for your wallet, especially if you're a rhythm boy like me. I cannot. This game is so underrated and it's amazing. It's on Switch, it's on mobile. Please go check it out. Inmost is a 3-hour game that's $15, and every negative Steam review just loves to bash that price tag. But just starting this game and seeing how painstakingly detailed the visuals are made me realize this game holds its value. The animation and art style are so fluid and expressive. These are some of my favorite visuals I have ever seen in a game. Think Octopath Traveler, but 2D and a little bit of Hollow Knight's dark aesthetic. I sat down and played through this game in one sitting because I was so immersed in this world. Seeing the first part of the game, you think to yourself, well, this is a pretty cool looking intro, but what does the actual game look like? But this is the entire game. The visuals followed every puzzle, every action sequence, every cutscene. The story deals with traumatic issues around domestic abuse within families. This is focal to the plot, so player discretion is advised. The story is good, it's pretty good, but the plot's presentation is disjointed and convoluted. It's a lot to take in, and you will not understand it unless you are really paying attention. But just relaxing, taking in this game's themes and each story at face value works very well. It's a brilliant little game that I could not recommend enough. The Messenger is the best platformer game I've ever played. You need to play this right now. Go. Now. Animal Crossing is what you make it. Animal Crossing is about exploring these very detailed little scenarios and making your own discoveries. And that's what I personally love about Animal Crossing. I want to see everything I can and appreciate all the little details that the developers put in. It's an escape that you can micromanage until it's perfect, or meander about until you're content. Everything that's here is amazing. It is my favorite game of 2020.
I swear to God, I'm gonna change your town tune while I'm here. Oh, you have no clothing. I'm pretty sure all the clothing you have is just clothing your villagers have given you or I have given you. Because I'm pretty sure I gave you that, and I know for a fact I gave you that. Yo. What? You haven't even bought clothes yet? Josh, you're a mad lad. Black hat with the gray glasses. Or we could do the gray hat with the black glasses. I think that's it. Yo, these are funky socks. These are the kind of socks Josh would wear. Gotta give you your new wheels. Ah yes, Josh's new wheels. It's been 9 months, right? Rhonda said we get along well. Your house isn't terribly ugly. At least it's like, it's weird, but it's like a Josh weird, so it's not bad, you know? Ooh, I have the same drink machine. You have matching colors of everything. You're kidding me. Well, thank you very much for those 4,000 Nook Miles, Joshua. Bubblegum KK, Harry Potter. Uh-oh, I hear Josh coming. Uh-oh.
What's up?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You didn't like the Town to Die ad?
It was really... No, I didn't.
But it was Lavender Town.
I know, and it scares me every time I hear it. I'm sorry, I had to change it. Better not use any of the footage of me getting rid of this weird path.